Welcome, curious minds, to another deep dive. Today, we're going to plunge into the captivating world of Chris Guillebeau's The $100 Startup. Now, if you've ever found yourself daydreaming about launching a business, but maybe felt a bit overwhelmed by the thought of, massive venture capital or those really complex 80-page business plans, then you are definitely in the right place. This deep dive is all about what Chris calls unexpected entrepreneurs. These are real people, folks who've discovered a way to earn a pretty fantastic living and really craft a life of true independence, often starting with less than $100, seriously. We're talking about everything from like a mattress delivery guy using a bicycle in Portland to a professional language hacker who travels the world for a living. The book itself draws from thousands of these real-world case studies, different industries, different places. It's just a goldmine of surprising facts and honestly really actionable insights.
It really is. And what's truly fascinating, I think, is how the book just fundamentally challenges so many traditional assumptions about starting a business. It powerfully demonstrates that you don't actually need prerequisites like borrowing huge sums of money or hiring a big team right away or even, spending years in business school. Our mission today is basically to extract the most important nuggets of knowledge, those surprising facts, from this incredible collection of stories. We want to help you understand how these principles might apply directly to your own entrepreneurial journey. It's really a blueprint for freedom.
Okay, so we've set the stage for these unexpected entrepreneurs. Let's really unpack the core philosophy here, this micro-business revolution. The book identifies this new model where people are actively bypassing traditional work, charting their own course. But what makes them unexpected? It seems like it almost always starts with a very specific personal mix of passion and skill. It's not just doing what you love, right? It's finding where that connects with what other people actually need.
Exactly, and this raises the big question. How do they manage to find success, especially with such minimal investment and none of that traditional structure? Well, the book boils it down to three key lessons, really transformative stuff, actually. It gives you a kind of roadmap. The first one is convergence. This is that sweet spot, the intersection of something you especially like to do or are good at doing, ideally both, and what other people are also interested in, or importantly, willing to pay for. It's the overlap between what you care about and what the market values. And what's really insightful here, I think, is that this isn't just about following your passion blindly. That can be dangerous advice. It forces you to rigorously test if your passion actually intersects with a real market need. That's where a lot of hopeful entrepreneurs kind of miss the mark. For instance, think about the V6 Ranch. In Parkfield, California, John and Barbara Varian, they aren't just selling horseback rides, as Darker puts it, they're offering freedom, helping guests escape, even if just for a moment, and be someone they may have never even considered before. That emotional benefit, that feeling of escape, of transformation, that's way more valuable than just the act of riding a horse.
That's a fantastic distinction. Focusing on the emotional value, not just the service itself.
Yeah.
But how hard is it for entrepreneurs, especially new ones, to find that deeper emotional need when customers might only talk about surface-level stuff?
Yeah, it's surprisingly tricky until you learn to listen differently. Another really powerful example of this is Kelly Newsome. She was a Manhattan lawyer making like $240,000 a year. Right. But she quit to start Higher Ground Yoga in DC. Now, there were plenty of yoga studios around, but Kelly focused specifically on busy female executives. And she ended up making $85,000 a year, basically by making people feel good about themselves. She offered a meaningful and tailor-made experience, something far better than just going to a crowded gym. She tapped into that desire for personal well-being, for tailored service. So the second key lesson is skill transformation. You're probably good at more than one thing, right? We all are. And success often comes from applying related skills in ways you might not expect. Take Kat Alder. She was a great waitress in London, always got good tips, made customers happy. Someone told her, you'd be really good at PR. Kat didn't even know what PR stood for.
Really?
Yeah. But she realized she could apply those people skills, communication, understanding needs, making connections to public relations. She landed her first client within a month. Just 4 years later, her PR firm employs 5 people globally. She transformed her customer service skills into a thriving business, a move that lots of people might just overlook in their own careers,
That idea of skill transformation is really powerful. Makes you look at your own resume differently. Okay, so what happens when you start combining these ideas, like convergence of passion with a transformed skill? Does it create some kind of magic?
It absolutely does. And that leads us straight into lesson 3, the magic formula. And it's remarkably simple. Passion or skill plus usefulness equals success. Let's look at Jaden here. She turned a mere $200 initial investment, $200, into a hugely successful cooking show and website steamy kitchen. She shared easy, healthy, popular Asian recipes. She merged her passion for cooking with direct usefulness to a massive community. And this fusion just created a phenomenon, led to cookbooks, TV offers, corporate sponsorships, the whole deal.
Yeah. Incredible. From $200.
Or think about Brandon Pierce. He was a piano teacher and a programming hobbyist in Utah. He created Software Music Teacher's Helper just to manage his own admin tasks like scheduling and payments. Purely for himself, no plans to make it a business.
Okay.
But other teachers started asking for it, and it just unexpectedly turned into a full-time income, over $30,000 a month.
Whoa!
Yeah. It eventually let him move with his family to Costa Rica. He merged his unique skills and passion with a real unmet need that he himself actually experienced.
Okay, so we've seen the core philosophy behind these unexpected successes, really inspiring stories. Now, what does this all mean for someone listening right now wanting to get started? The book really hammers home starting quickly and keeping costs super low. It's almost shocking when you look at the data. The average startup cost for the entrepreneurs in Chris's study was just $610.60.
$610.60.
That really blows up the idea that you need huge capital to begin, doesn't it? It absolutely does. And the book outlines this really simple 6 steps to getting started right now blueprint. It cuts through all the noise, helps you overcome that paralysis of perfectionism. It's all about taking action immediately. So, step 1, decide on your product or service. 2, set up a website. Even a really basic free one works to start. 3, develop a compelling offer, which is importantly distinct from just the product or service itself. 4, make sure you have a way to get paid, like a free PayPal account or something similar. 5, announce your offer to the world. And okay, while these steps seem simple, the real genius, I think, is in step 6, which is learn from steps 1 through 5, then repeat.
Yeah.
It's this powerful permission slip to just launch imperfectly, get feedback, and iterate. That's often what stops people before they even start, right?
Yeah, absolutely. Getting stuck trying to perfect step 1 or 2.
Exactly, when the real learning only happens after step 5, after you've put something out there.
That's such a critical insight, that permission to iterate. So once you have those basic steps down, the real challenge, and maybe the most interesting part, is making sure what you're offering is something people genuinely desire. And this is where the book gets really insightful, focusing on what people really want in their offers. It's not about what they say they want necessarily, but what they actually want. Like that airline passenger example, complains about cramped seats, but always books the cheapest flight. They say comfort, but they actually want the lowest price. The business needs to deliver on that unspoken underlying desire.
Precisely. Value is deeply connected to emotional needs, not just logical features. A feature is descriptive, a benefit is emotional. So the question becomes, how do you uncover those deeper emotional needs and build offers around them? Well, one powerful strategy is to dig deeper to uncover hidden needs. Kyle Hepp, she's a wedding photographer, travels the world from her base in Chile. She learned this firsthand. Her clients were often drawn to her non-traditional style. Sometimes they even said they didn't want any traditional photos. But Kyle, understanding the underlying emotion of their big day, she realized they still kind of expected some traditional shots, maybe for their parents or for their future selves, so she went above and beyond to provide them anyway, creating this deeper, unspoken satisfaction. It's about anticipating the need behind the words. Another really powerful strategy, make your customer a hero. Pranadujurala, he's an Excel guru in India, makes over $200,000 a year.
That's with Excel.
Just with Excel. But he doesn't just sell spreadsheet help. He brilliantly positions his training programs as making customers a hero in front of their bosses or colleagues. People aren't just buying spreadsheet skills. They're buying recognition, efficiency, professional advancement, basically a clear path to being the office superstar. It's genius positioning. And finally, a crucial strategy Chris Guillebeau learned himself the hard way. Sell what people buy and ask them if you're not sure. Chris shares his own failure with a product called Travel Ninja. It was all about the complex inner workings of airline systems.
Sounds niche.
Very. It only sold 100 copies on launch day. Later, he created Frequent Flyer Master and then Travel Hacking Cartel, which simply helped people get cheap or free tickets. The outcome. He realized he was trying to take customers into the kitchen, explain how the meal was made, instead of just giving them the meal they wanted, which was cheap travel. The result. Travel Hacking Cartel sold 3,000 copies on day 1.
Wow, 3,000 versus 100.
Exactly. It's a powerful reminder. Meet the obvious, express need, don't try to force the one you think they should have.
That's a really powerful lesson, just listening to your market, even when they aren't shouting it. The book also talks quite a bit about hustling, getting the word out. It defines a hustler as someone who combines work and talk, contrasting them with charlatans, all talk, no substance and martyrs, all action, no talk, and so often unknown and struggling. It's about being authentic, but also actively promoting yourself and your value. But how do these unexpected entrepreneurs effectively talk in such a noisy world?
Yeah, that's key. And what's really fascinating here is the concept of strategic giving. Megan Hunt, the dressmaker we mentioned, she exemplifies this brilliantly. She gives custom dresses to influential bloggers. She often upgrades shipping or doubles orders for free for her regular clients. Now, this isn't just random generosity. It builds immense loyalty and incredible word of mouth. The book even shares a surprising experiment. Someone spent $10,000 on traditional ads, yielded only 78 new customers.
Okay.
Then they spent just 10 hours hustling, doing things like writing guest posts for relevant blogs, collaborating on joint ventures with complementary businesses, actively engaging in online communities that yielded 84 new customers.
Well, more customers from 10 hours of effort than from $10,000 in ads.
Exactly. It really showcases the power of relationships and targeted personal effort over just throwing money at general advertising.
And then when you finally make an offer, the book says you want it to be truly irresistible, like those Alaska Tour Saver coupon books, priced at $99.95. The genius was they guaranteed savings of more than that cost with just one use. And then you had over 100 more uses as a bonus.
Right. It's about delivering immediate, undeniable benefits that are so clearly superior to the cost that saying no just feels irrational. The value proposition is just stacked in the customer's favor.
Okay, moving into sustaining things, the book really emphasizes that the primary goal of any business, big or small, has got to be profit. It encourages avoiding debt like the plague and really focusing intently on where the money will actually come from. It's about being lean, resourceful, always keeping an eye on that bottom line.
Which naturally leads to the important question. How do you effectively price your valuable offerings and actually ensure you get paid in this micro-business model? The book offers 3 core principles here that can seriously transform your income. Principle 1, base prices on benefits, not costs. Gary Leff, the frequent flyer consultant, he charges a flat $250 for his service. Doesn't matter if it takes him 2 minutes or 2 hours to book those amazing first-class tickets. Clients pay for his expertise, for the outcome, those incredible travel experiences, not for his time directly. It's all about the value delivered.
That's a huge mindset shift, valuing the outcome over the effort. But does that shift come naturally? Or is it a common stumbling block for new entrepreneurs who might be used to, charging by the hour?
Oh, it's a massive shift, and often a real hurdle, yeah, because it requires confidence in your expertise and the value you provide. But once you make that shift, it's incredibly liberating. Then, principle 2, offer a limited range of prices. Don't just have one price point, provide options, maybe a budget version, an even better one, and an exclusive premium tier. This can significantly boost income. There's one case study where a single product averaged $87 per sale with just one price. But it jumped to $133 per sale when they offered 3 options. It cleverly gives customers a choice of which to buy rather than whether to buy at all. And often it guides them towards a higher priced tier without feeling pushed. And finally, principle 3, get paid more than once. This is huge. It's about leveraging things like continuity programs, membership sites, or subscriptions. Imagine a service priced at, say, $20 a month. With just 100 subscribers, that's $24,000 a year. Pretty good, right? Now, scale that to 1,000 subscribers. You're looking at $240,000 a year. This isn't just about multiplying income, though. It fundamentally shifts your business model away from constantly chasing new customers towards cultivating long-term relationships. That dramatically increases stability and customer lifetime value. It's about building share of the customer, deepening your relationship and value with your existing clients rather than just chasing market share, which is more about overall industry dominance.
The book also tackles a really fundamental choice for these entrepreneurs, how to grow the business. And it challenges the common idea that growth always has to mean bigger, presenting 3 pretty compelling options for how to scale.
Yeah, that's such a crucial decision. And the book offers really diverse examples, emphasizing that growth can look very different depending on your personal definition of success and freedom. So, option 1, stay small. Shariva Ard, she's a healthcare consultant. She purposely declined growth opportunities just to maintain her quality of life. She earns $50,000 a year while traveling the world, and she put it perfectly. I own my business. The business doesn't own me. Her choice was deliberate freedom over scale.
Love that.
Then there's option 2, go medium. Tom Bin, he's a bag manufacturer in Seattle, has over 20 employees, but he famously turns down big box retailers. He prioritizes maintaining creative control, his brand identity. He proves that growth doesn't automatically mean selling out or compromising your core values just for mass distribution.
Okay, so small or medium.
Yeah.
But what if you want a bit of both? Like the agility of being small, but maybe the reach of something a bit larger?
Well, that's option 3. Split the difference. Jessica Reagan Saltzman, a bookkeeper. Initially, she grew really rapidly after her husband got laid off, to support the family. But then she actually pulled back to a one-woman shop when costs started soaring. She found a comfortable, profitable middle ground that aligned with her desired lifestyle without all the overwhelming overhead of a larger operation. And what's really fascinating here, too, is the idea of franchising yourself. Basically, being in more than one place at once or having your expertise multiply beyond just your direct time input. Natalie Lucier, remember her? She started Raw Foods Witch, a $60,000 business from her diet success.
Right.
But then she cleverly leveraged her other skills, software engineering, to create a second tech consultancy. She effectively diversified her income streams and her focus. It allowed the first business to run mostly on autopilot because she wasn't limited to just one activity or one skill set.
So it's not just about replicating a physical store maybe, but replicating your knowledge or skills in different formats or for different audiences.
Exactly. Or think about Brooke Thomas, the Rolfing practitioner. After having success building practices in different cities over and over, she created Practice Abundance. It's a training program for other wellness providers. She reached a whole new audience with her expertise without needing to physically be in multiple places at the same time. And this also ties into the whole decision about whether or not to outsource stuff. Some, like Megan Hunt and Jonathan Pincus, found outsourcing created immense freedom for them. But others, like Jaden Hare and Adam Westbrook, actually found it created more problems than it solved. They preferred keeping things lean and self-contained. So the key takeaway, again, is really just to do what makes sense for you. Align your growth, your systems, with your personal definition of freedom and purpose. There's no single right answer.
And ultimately, the book really encourages you to work on your business, not just in it. Sounds simple, right?
Yeah.
But I think most of us get caught up just putting out fires in our business day to day. This concept means setting aside dedicated time, maybe daily, for those growth-oriented activities, like business development, developing new offers, fixing those long-standing nagging problems, rather than just constantly reacting. It's about being strategic with your most valuable resource, your time. Okay, wow, we've covered a lot in this deep dive into the $100 startup. From finding that unique convergence point, building irresistible offers, all the way to making strategic growth choices and leveraging your skills in ways you might not have thought of. The common thread, though, in all these amazing, unexpected entrepreneurial stories seems to be this consistent pursuit of personal freedom, achieved through providing real, tangible value to other people. It's really about building a life on your own terms, often with far, far less capital than you might imagine.
Absolutely. And this raises, I think, an important final question for you, our listener. If you're currently in a situation you want to change, or maybe if you have an idea bubbling up that you've been waiting, perhaps nervously, to launch, what does freedom truly mean for your work? And maybe more importantly, what single small action could you take today, right now, to begin that journey towards it?